Hello, hello. Blurp, blue, blurp, 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 blorp. I'm, I'm gonna assume it's supposed to say blorp. There we go. Oh, that is a bit louder than I intended, though. Windows reset it a little bit. That's not the name of this song, is it? Synsex discrepancy? Surely that's not the name. I feel like that has to be weird. Anyway, I'm here. I missed Tuesday, but we're back. Also, good news. I think I'll be able to start streaming Friday again soon. Probably mid-June, so in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I should be able to go back to the Friday streams. I'll probably keep I'll probably keep Thursday as a non-stream day though. Has been very nice to have that as a recovery day after Wednesday. But yeah, I will hopefully at least be able to get Friday back. So that'll be very nice. Ooh, what? Oh, because I don't have socks. Oh wait, for some reason I thought there was an R in there. Socks. Socks. Oh wait, hold on. I read that. How do I read that? Socks. Is this a day of W's and random words? This is gonna be a confusing day to read, huh? Okay, does anybody remember what we did last time? I think it was very weird and spaghetti-like because we had to kind of retcon something into working. I don't... Oh, yeah. This. I remember. I guess retcon's not the right word, but we had to make something work in like an earlier stage up here. It was this. Yes, we needed more batteries for accumulators, which is crazy. There is... Okay, so we might be lacking on batteries elsewhere. There is a good chance we could repurpose these later, because this only runs for about an hour, I think. I think it produces all the accumulators it needs in like 1 or 2 hours. I guess by that point we don't really need more batteries, but if I won, I can turn that into more robots. So I can keep that in mind. I don't think it's worth setting up unless I explicitly need it though, because it would be a lot of work to get it elsewhere. We could also just try a beacon. Well, hold on. Yeah, okay. These are fairly slow. We can definitely beacon them. Because currently it uses 2 items per second. No, sorry, 1 item per 2 seconds. Half an item per second. So we can reasonably beacon it to be like 3 times faster? Maybe? Yeah, 3 is probably pushing it, but I doubt we can get that high anyway. So yeah, we could reasonably put a beacon, or based on where these undergrounds are, a speed mod would make more speed mods would make more sense. I don't think we can really beacon it. This hopefully doesn't have to go anywhere, because that kind of just ends. So I'm just going to assume that we don't need that, which would be there. Because where else could that go? And if we're making that assumption, we might as well end it with that. Right, this is made by bots. Yeah, this is all hand-built. This is not all hand-built. Some stuff here is definitely in the wrong stage. Why is this in this stage? Why is this entire section in this stage? Okay, so... Oh, okay, maybe I wanted these to be in the same stage. Like, I built this by hand. Yeah, that's probably it, because this stuff up to this point is built by hand. Maybe I just left this up there as the first thing bots build. There's definitely supposed to be a different stage between them, but oh well, mistakes happen. Okay, underground belt, inserter delivery, solid fuel everywhere, satellites, connect radars after designing outpost train, clean up the mall, iron lanes for outposting. That is this, so we can get rid of that. Burner drills are at the bare minimum. This one, we can... More burner drills? Because I don't know if that's actually true. We might actually have plenty of burner drills now. Because that comment, bare minimum, was not accounting for the mall. And it wasn't accounting for... Actually, yeah, it wasn't accounting for the mall, which I think is like a 20% increase. So that should be fine. If we can get those to the train, I guess, which it looks like we would be able to. It would be a mess, but I imagine we can somehow get this up here if we really tried. I believe in myself. Red splitters. I think we got red splitters. Let's see. Well, actually, wait. Red splitters happens in three different points. So let's see. First one, it's up here. Okay, so that one's good. We should also have red splitters here, right? Yes, very low quantity probably, but we do have them here. That's good enough. Hair. I just straight up said hair. And then we did make one early on for, which we only need like 5 or 10 of them here, I think. So they don't technically have to be automated, but considering they don't really add that much complexity to this design, we figured we might as well automate them. So let's get rid of that. Okay, higher rocket goal outpost. Okay, so I don't think we need a higher rocket goal because it is already extremely... Oh wait, no, this isn't... Okay, this isn't saying faster rockets. That's saying launch more rockets because we have like 4 or 5 hours still after. That's actually... This is actually a consideration. So this requires me to do some math. Well, not a ton of math. We can just do a rough estimate. Let's look. Currently we are at, let's see, rocket. That's not what it's called either. Productivity. Mining productivity 5 is what we will be researching, which is 7 extra rockets, I think. Maybe not quite 7 extra rockets. It's 7,500 divided by 1.4, right? Because I have the research boost. Oh wait, no. What? How many can you put in a lab? It's 2, right? Yeah. Okay. So 7,500 divided by 1.2 divided by 1,000. So it's 6.25 extra rockets. So that's either 6 or 7 extra rockets. Probably 6, because I imagine we'll have extra from the others. But we'll round up. We'll say 7 extra rockets. So if we launch an additional 7 rockets, which will take another hour, which sounds like a lot, but I mean, it's not going to decrease the productivity of anything else of my base. We can get 1 extra mining productivity, and we should still be able to research enough for launch, or for all the techs. I would be very surprised if we have the productivity or the production capacity to launch 7 additional rockets in an hour. If we can't also get like atomic bomb in that time, in the next 4 hours after that, I think we have some other glaring issues. So I can probably make the assumption that we're fine. However, the more important thing that we have to consider is performance. So we're assuming that this base, it's kind of just a guess based on how many inserters and drills we have, but I think that's a reasonable assumption, because I don't think anything we have here is significantly more UPS intensive than the rest of our outpost, right? Like, our outpost is designed to be a little bit more performance heavy? No, not heavy. Light than our main base, because obviously we're building 4 times as many of them as we are our main base, effectively. I think, in terms of inserters and assemblers, the outposts are like 4 times more than the main base. And that's stuff that will be constantly running, not even just counting idling. So I'm assuming that this is probably only like a quarter. Probably a quarter, maybe a third of our UPS is going to go to this. So that means we could justifiably make 2/3 of our outpost goal before this needs to stop running, which will take 2 hours. So we still have about 2 hours before our base needs to get all of the research done, after it's fully done. I don't know how this translates, though. But basically it comes down to, we might be able to get an extra... Well, actually, I don't think mining productivity will get us an extra outpost. It would save about 5,000 drills, I think. Something like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean a whole outpost. I don't think the drills are that bad, and the inserters for them idle a lot. So the main thing would be it decreases the amount of outposts I need, which would let me get them done faster, because it would probably save about 15 minutes of outposting. Because I could just do 1 or 2 less outposts, because all the outposts will be, what would that be, 5%, 10% bigger, something like that? What's 160 over 150? 7% bigger? So yeah, we would say we would get like 1 extra lane of iron effectively. I think it's not necessary. That requires a lot of. I think that requires a lot of redesigning of the outposts, a lot of rebalancing of the outposts, and will make it that the belts are very imbalanced. One advantage of what we have now is it does fully saturate the belts, and we don't have to have any form of splitters or anything, as far as I'm aware of. So yeah, let's just leave it. We can save that for Mark II. Is Mark II the right word? I guess you can, it's some form of version number. We could probably call it Mark II. Hierarchical version 2.0. Yeah, I can wait until version 2.0. We'll move that to the very bottom. Very bottom of the list. Okay. That's this arrow, not that's this double down arrow, not this double down arrow. Very, very clear distinction. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't, like, this list isn't that long. I know it's like 6 items, but clean up them all is very generic and not strictly necessary for doing the launch, just for making it not hurt my soul. Burner drills, bare minimum, like this stuff we don't have to do. This is just literally adding a belt once we do this belt, so like this isn't even like an additional task. This is just a decision I have to make, and the more I build, the more I think we have to do trains, unfortunately. Because this is a lot of resources. I don't think, well, let's see. This is like 8 belts of iron. This is probably another like 8. So I could either connect 2 trains, or I can connect 16 belts that are about this long. So yeah, basically 2 single trains where all I have to do is connect a single rail system and maybe add 1 rail signal on it by hand. So we drag a straight rail, we drag power, there we're good. Or we connect 16 belts that actually have to turn and stuff. So that's why I'm thinking we do trains, even though they're so bad. What is this? I think this was me not knowing if this would be used somewhere else, but looking at it, we can just reverse the belt. Yeah, because we have a splitter here, so this is clearly, I think I might use it for something else. But if I do, I can always add the splitter at the end. Well, actually, do we have, these don't saturate the belt, right? No, there's no way. Okay, so we can probably just reverse this. If I had to guess, we just wanted something working real quick. Because it has the splitter in it. It could have just been, I straight up copied this one and called it good. Let's see, are there any other different, like if I copy this and overlay it on top of it, are there any conflicts? No. Okay. Yeah, I can tell. Well, I can tell what happened here. This was just, we needed more steel and I wanted to see if this was enough. Looks like it is, so we will change that. Let's see, what layer is that on though? It is this layer? Okay, we'll just reverse it then. Because yeah, we probably just need this steel. And we can still use it. Like, we can still have a splitter for this one. It just has to be in a slightly different spot, which is not an issue. We're still going to make it go a long way around, because it's just kind of going to fit wherever it can go. I'm not looking forward to adding roboports. I keep forgetting about that. We need to add so many. Add a bajillion roboports. I think I can make the roboports a lot simpler if I accept that not everywhere will be within range of the logistics network. Which is a little bit of a cop-out, I will admit that. But the thing is, I don't think there's a huge difference between, in terms of like build speed. I don't think this, like, because realistically they're not going to be a large gap, right? It would be something like this. I don't think that is this much worse than this situation. I think the bots are gonna build at a comparable speed. It will make it that if we have logistics requests, those little gaps are gonna cause annoyances, but I don't think we'll have a lot of those, and if we do, we have like bot speed 6. So I obviously will try to avoid them, but if we can't, it's not the end of the world. Because obviously they can still build in here. We'll just make sure that the path providers aren't in these gaps. I think we'll be fine. We can pay more attention to it in Mark 2. But they're probably just going to go wherever I feel they'll fit. Because like we have a lot of small gaps they can fit. Like right here. We can obviously make this... There's so many spots here. There's no way this has like a 0 tile tolerance. So we can fit a underground here, put a roboport there. And we can do that for a lot of places. Some places we might just have to accept, like right here, that I produce 5% slower by cutting one of them. Maybe like 5 to 10% slower by cutting one of the assembly machines. No, we'll make it work. I don't think there are that many situations where it's so tight that I can't fit a single one. But I'm okay with the fact that we might lose a small percent of production. Let's see, what else is on the list? More everything, so that was a joke, that's not helpful. More module production in main, we have half. Okay, I believe we did do that. That is... this edition? No, this is for the outpost. Most important part of a bajillion roboports is charging time that lose a lot of time. This base having much more entities gives bots much more weight. I don't think we have that many more entities. At least not in the main base. Surprisingly, because this is the same size. We produce less, but I don't think our entity count is significantly higher. Because most of the places, it's like just it's just like double the inserters, but non-inserter entities I think are fairly comparable. We definitely have more, but I don't think it's like a huge gap that will make or break the run. And, yeah, and unlimited time. The fact that we have like 5 hours for the base to run also is a big contributor. Obviously, we don't want to skimp on charging, but I don't think the entity count is as drastic as you would think, because we're producing so much less. Now, if we try to produce a base of comparable production, then we're looking at like 3 times the entity cost. Yeah, we'll probably have to double up in a lot more locations for roboports. Fortunately, I think all of our roboport production is done, because we do have a fair amount here. Like, we have a lot. I mean, a lot less. I think we don't have as much as an actual run does, but we have a sufficient amount for burners, I think. At least that's what we're hoping. We'll figure that out in the test runs, I guess. Because we're going to try to get some estimates for build speed, assuming roboports are just kind of there. That'll tell us if we have enough roboports to build as fast as we need. It won't tell us if we are producing roboports fast enough, but once we test the stages, we'll at least get an idea if we're super lacking. If not, have space to add more game. Yeah, worst case scenario, I can always build something off to the side by hand in probably just a few minutes. It would be hard to fit something like in the middle, but we can always just add an extra furnace lane off to the side. It's not that difficult. I might just have... I'll probably make a generic furnace lane blueprint for me to do for stuff like that. Because I think it would be slightly helpful to just have a generic furnace lane I can paste down right here to get more roboports or something. Oh, you mean for that? Oh yeah, that works too. I was just thinking we can make changes on the fly outside of our base. As long as it's nothing high entity count, we're good. Like roboports, obviously, going here to there to place them isn't the end of the world. Belts, on the other hand, that would be terrible. But yeah, we can also just throw roboports down. Although I'll probably be more distracted figuring out what's going on and connecting belts. That's the other thing. We'll be connecting things slower, hence the unlimited time thing. So we're also less likely to notice severe charging issues or to care that much about them. Because really, the bots just have to outpace me playing with a controller at that point in the run. If I was playing with a mouse and keyboard at that point, it would probably be different. But yeah, they will probably mechanically connect the rail system like half speed over what we could, if that. Let's see, more module production main. Yeah, we supposedly have that. I'm looking for it still. Oh, it's this thing. Right, we're using extra copper from the turbine production because turbines will have been producing the whole time. So by the time this goes online, most of the turbines have been produced. Yeah, because this is for once we get to like stage 4, pretty much. Yeah, this is hasted basically not until we have launch. Yeah, I mean, I'm disabled, so I can't really sit at a computer for 12 hours. So if the only way I can do a run like this in one stream is to use a controller for the second half of it. Or I say second half, but after the first. Basically, we'll get to bots, maybe do a couple things after bots, and then we'll switch to a controller. Still haven't figured out recording-wise how I'm going to do that. I think I'll have to play with my main screen on 1080p the whole time, which is going to be weird. But I think that's not an issue. Because my TV is at 1080, my main monitor's at 1440. So if I were to switch monitors halfway during the run, I think that might interrupt the recording through OBS. It's the resolution change, it won't like that. So I'll just have to play the game at a lower resolution than normal, which is going to feel weird because the UI doesn't scale perfectly. Like 1440 and 1080 at the same resolution size, there's like a 5% difference just because of how many increments it has. Like, it's not perfect, which obviously not a huge problem. I'm not going to be bothered by a 5% small UI. It's just, I think, kind of funny. But I mean, what else are they going to do, right? If it's scaled based on resolution ratio, there's only so much you can do when it's not an even multiplier. Or maybe they added their own multiplier, because there's basically this thing. None of the numbers you can put into this match the resolution, match the difference between 1080 and 1440. Because I think it's limited to 25-degree differences. Or maybe you might be able to manually input like 130, but I think it's still off by like 0.5% or something. Because I definitely messed with it before. Yeah, it's a 33.3. Okay, so it's like a 1/3 increase, and this can't do the decimals, I think is what it was. So it's off by like a few pixels. The only reason that I'm even mentioning that is because one time when I was editing something, I had it in 1080p for the second half, and things were just slightly different, and I could not figure out why. It's just because they didn't scale properly, exactly. But yeah, this seems to be good, so we can check it off the list. I don't remember where this was getting red chips, but I'm assuming if I checked it off the list, it is getting them from somewhere. Okay, we're stealing them from furnaces, so I'm really making the assumption that I have enough. But we probably do. Because this is a fairly large production for what we need. And we have this one, so yeah, we probably have enough. Or maybe it's just going to speed up later, I don't know. But I think we can say that's accounted for. If it's too slow, it's not going to be slow by that much. I think it's the difference of, like, getting all my research done in 2 hours versus one sort of thing for the secondary researches, which I don't care that much about. I like Atomic Bomb. Honestly, those ones, we only need to research to... The goal for those is just research them before we become UPS limited, because that's a very viable goal for this. Because we just have to make so many terrible outposts that take so long to start. Unlike, you know, a normal 100% run where you're still researching to the end or close to the end. Yeah, we're not even going to be close to that. So really our goal is to just have the researches done by the time our outposts all start, which is 2 hours into the outposting phase at least. Probably more, considering the 30-hour start time. Steel and other resource buffers. Okay, I think I don't think a resource buffer is a good idea. I'm trying to think what I could do with a buffer. I mean, I think it's too late to account for any kind of reasonable buffer at this point. But obviously, like, a resource buffer here isn't that useful. Because I don't really have... Like, I'm not on, like, a time goal where I need to save, like, 5 minutes by having stuff buffered in a chest, right? That's really all buffers do. They save you a few minutes of production before things start falling behind. I don't have things that finely tuned, so I can't justify having, like, a copper buffer to help speed something up. Or at least I don't think it'll save enough time to be worth the time to build a copper buffer, because it's so hard to build a buffer. Iron buffer for personal crafting could be useful. But honestly, we could just take from the furnaces. There's plenty in there. Enough burners, you got a nice new mod. SE for beginners and those who don't want to give it 1,000 hours, just 2 surfaces for fun. So it's going to be like a... What mod is that? That sounds... Honestly, that sounds like a great addition for when I played Janky 2.0. Which I know isn't the name of the mod, but it's what I've been calling it. The mod pack. Lunar Landing. Lunar Landing Factorio. Oh wow, yeah, it's like 10 days ago. Reference if anyone wants to know what we're talking about. This is the mod. So it looks like... Let's see, it shares a similar design philosophy to upcoming Space Age, that it adds specific named planet with its own challenges, and it's a natural extension of vanilla. And it's less involved than space exploration, adding only a couple new science facts. So yeah, that seems like it will be a very great Janky 2.0. I think we'll do that. Because before 2.0 comes out, I really want to do Janky 2.0, where we do a bunch of mods like janky quality and things that add quality of life features similar to 2.0. And then we can also... Then I was wanting something that was similar to Space Age. And I think this could be it. Just a very minor dive into space. It's either that or I think not space exploration, not SpaceX, right? Space expansion, is that what it's called? What's SpaceX? SpaceX Factorio. Space extension, that's the word. I don't know how large that one is. 40 plus launches, a variety of new components. Yeah, I'm not sure if that one could also work. Now you have some mod to play that you can see the ending. Oh yeah, because it's not like a massive overhaul. Yeah, I've never beaten an overhaul ever, actually. Oh wait, Warp Torio, I technically launched. I never actually made a stable base, because I think technically... I wanted to build it until I got a stable home that could stay, you know, indefinitely, because the biters would never get too bad. And that requires you to also research a certain tech that lets you stay forever. But I effectively beat that one. That one we just, we started doing the burner stuff. But other than that, yeah, I can't even say I've gotten close to beating an overhaul. Watching screenshots, there is Cube and Lunar Landings. Why is there Cube? Cube. Doesn't mention Cube. Why is there Cube? What does this cube do? I see no cube. That's a square. Oh, there's like a square furnace. Okay. Yeah, I still need to do Ultra Cube actually. People suggest that a lot. Or Hypercube. I know it's Ultra Cube. I keep calling it Hypercube in my mind and then second guessing it. Yeah, we're just gonna say no to buffers. Steel buffer realistically has a purpose. And is small enough that I think we could set it up. Yeah, because steel is I think steel's very straightforward. Oh, it's just a normal item. Okay, so it's not like an Ultra Cube. I thought you were looking at like the text, and one of the later ones was basically Ultra Cube. Okay, finish original mall, we've done that. This one is vague. These are both very vague. And I think that was before somebody told me that you do not need a ton for science, so we actually probably have enough. Assuming we can get enough iron. Which, oh wait, this doesn't get iron. This belt is built wrong. Hold on. Oh, never mind. It gets iron from up here. Oh, it gets plenty of iron. Oh yeah, this will have enough. It gets basically an entire lane. And if we make it a blue belt, we get even more. Wait, is this hand built? Oh god, this is hand built. I have to hand build this? Okay, let's not think about that. I'm trying not to look too closely at the things I have to hand build because they terrify me. I don't think this part is hand built though. Because this, yeah, this just goes to the mall. Okay, so I don't have to build this. I just have to build a splitter. And I just have to build a couple splitters. I know I did think this through when I built it. It is designed to be smart belt compatible, so this is a full drag. If we do the pipe first. And I think order-wise, we do all the pipes and then we do the smart belt. So I don't think it's terrible to build. It looks terrible to build right now. But we should have more than enough sulfur. More than enough acid. I think someone pointed out it uses very, very little to run this. Let's see. Let's highlight all of them. Where would that be? Consumption, right, is on the left. 40 acid per second. That's all. Let's actually just do the whole base. $126 acid per second for the entire base. And that's assuming assembly machines run full speed, which they don't. That is very, very low amount of acid, I think. I'm pretty sure that's like 2 plans, right? If there's something you hate to place in Factorio, those are inserters. These ones, burner inserters in general, or specifically, or just all inserters? Yeah, okay, so as long as these run mostly full speed, we're good. And I think... Let's see, 1, 6, okay, that's 6 items per second. We have 2 inserters. Okay, so they can run at 40% speed. So this can produce about 110, roughly. All of them? I think placing... I mean, I don't like it anymore. I don't particularly love it anymore, because I can't really do it fast anymore. But I think it's very satisfying. Was very satisfying. It's really just burner inserters that I hate now. Okay, so looking at this though, this doesn't actually produce enough sulfur to run this full speed, so that does complicate things. Let's see, this can do 2. Okay, so this could get... These can get speed modules. I think that's a good idea. BRB like 15 minutes. I'll still be here barely, but I will still be here. Working on design. I will have to end pretty much right at 3 today. So not a short stream, just like we're actually streaming my 2-hour window instead of delaying it like I normally do. Okay, so this hopefully produces... Okay, 12.8 is pretty close. This might be enough. And then I think if we add modules to these... 142, it decreases the input requirement. Okay, I think this is reasonable. This should make it that we have all the acid we need. Worst case scenario, we make more acid up here. It's really easy to do. But I think we can justifiably produce all we need in the entire base with this. We'll hand build all of it because these are going to start out pretty slow. Like, even though we don't need this many assembly machines, when we first build this, these are running at like 30% speed or something. Because they won't have the modules and they'll be inserter limited. Actually, wait, speaking of inserter limited, 3.2. Okay, so yeah, this should have enough output. Okay, so I think we can say that's fine. I'm going to delete that. More acid in batteries. Okay, so that might be true. But we can also probably add speed modules. I think that's referring to this point, which is producing 1.25 batteries per second. And then this is consuming 1.59. But I think that also had a battery assembler in it. Yeah, which is all of it. Okay, so yeah, this is only producing for like 20 minutes max. So we do technically have enough batteries. I might add... I don't know if a speed module actually works here. Because I don't know if we have enough copper and iron. No, we don't. So what if I do... What if I do this combo? 10% extra craft speed, and it gives 12% extra resources. Okay, I think this is reasonable. I'm adding it to the wrong layer, though. Hello, Jen. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I don't think we have enough resources for this to work. So I think we have to do 2 prods instead. Or we figure out how to get copper and iron down here. But I'm pretty sure... we are not starting the run today. We're still designing. I imagine it will be mid-June. But we are close to finishing the design itself. So I'm really hoping to do at least some sort of practice next weekend. Hello, Bep. Welcome, welcome. Is there an important message I need to respond to? Just let me know. I'll be ready at 3. Or whenever we're starting in an hour and a half. But just let me know if there's something I need to do before then. But yeah, we have not enough iron, right? Yeah. I'm good. Okay, cool. So this gives me more batteries without any increased cost. Well, technically increased cost, but only if they run full speed. But it also gives me more batteries without an increased cost, which is nice. So this gives me 8%? 8% more batteries. That's not a ton, but it's enough to be not at the bare minimum, which I'll take. If we could also figure out how to add more copper here, that would be fantastic. Let's see, we might be able to fit one here. See, based on how this splitter looks, we could definitely get more. It will starve this slightly, but I think that's fine. Now if we can do the same with copper, I think we're good. I don't know why I put so much emphasis on the word copper there. Copper. Can I make this work? Input. Yeah, we can make that work. Okay, I think this is a good idea. This is the wrong stage. Let's see, 3.2. So we're just gonna shift this over. Like that. That's annoying. There we go. Okay, now it should be good. So this gives us just a little bit more space. We can get more copper here. Still built on the wrong layer. Whoa, that was weird. Cannot over... Wait, what? What does that mean? Huh. Don't know what that meant. I mean, I think I know what it meant. I don't know why it said it, I guess, is a better thing to be confused by. Okay. So this gives me extra copper. Now if we can get extra iron, we're golden. So we have iron here. And it needs to go here. Okay, I think I see a line. I guess it depends what's on this belt. I don't know what's on that belt. Nothing tells me what's on that belt. Okay. We just need like one extra furnace here. Why is this so hard to do? I mean, because we're using burner inserters. That's why it's so hard to do. Okay, we can maybe put it awkwardly here. But then I can't output. Unless we did like a weird... We could do like a weird... spaghetti belt? What if it... Ooh, what if it's here? Because it really just needs to add copper halfway down the line, right? Or iron halfway down the line. So it could be in an unusual spot like this. That doesn't work. But it almost works, which gives me hope. What is this? Oh, that's the science belt. That's the science belt. That doesn't help me. Okay. If anybody sees like just a gap, like a slightly larger gap here, let me know. We could use this area. This isn't terrible. Ooh, we could put one here. could use a red belt for this, right? Yeah, I can use a red belt. Like, one red belt is not going to break the bank. I think we could place one... Oh, wait. No, this runs into the same problem we had earlier of there's one tile too few. So if we do something like this, we need to output from the side. Which is incredibly easy. What's wrong with me? Okay. Red belt. Is that the farthest it can go? Yes, it is. Now we can use now we can use a regular belt, and we can just side load it there. Oh, that looks terrible, but it works. That's what matters. Okay, technically functional. Also, this song, I watched the World of Goo I listened to this World of Goo soundtrack the other day. I understand why people ask if this is from that. Like, it sounds very similar to, like, the... on the Steam page, like, the main song they have for the game. It probably plays throughout the game, too. But this is the Factorio gameplay trailer song. So maybe it just sounds trailery, I don't know. But, yeah, I understand now why I've had, like, 2 or 3 people wonder if I was just stealing, well, not stealing, but using that soundtrack. Okay, can I make this cleaner? Probably. I guess I don't need to. It doesn't really benefit me. Yeah, no, we'll just leave it. It's fine. I don't really love this mixed colored belt because it's just very easy to accidentally destroy belt weaving. I think this is the only time we've ever belt weaved in the whole design. So I would like to avoid it if I could. Oh, wait, I see a way to avoid it that I don't think is more entities. At least not by a significant amount. It also fixes the ugly problem that I wanted to get rid of. Okay, so yeah, it is more entities. But there's no belt weaving anymore. Okay, it's about 2 more entities, less room for error. I think I'm okay with that. There's a possibility, wait, can I just reverse this? I don't know if there's enough space to reverse it, which is why I wasn't originally thinking of that, but I might just be able to reverse it. No. No, I cannot just reverse it. Okay. Wait, can I? No, never mind. I can't just reverse it. It's that easy. Okay. I don't know why I thought both those inserters need to go into there. Okay, perfect. So, saved 2 entities, no belt weaving. Looks cleaner. Awesome. I'll take it. If I really wanted to, I could save 1 more entity. But red belts are still kind of expensive. And this is literally one of the first things bots build. Which is, yeah, a little pricier than I would like. Okay, so now we can afford speed modules. And prod modules. I think both is still a good idea because it does reduce the amount of sulfuric acid I use. But it's not super critical anymore. What if I do all prods? How much does that produce? Let's see, this is a 12% bonus, 15% loss in protection. Okay, so that's just too slow. We'll stick with 1-to-1. I think that is okay. How do I use this mod? I guess I don't really know how. I'll just manually fix them because I got off in one of the stages. That sounds bad. I got a different pattern in one of the stages. There we go. Okay, that looks better. But basically one of the stages I put all speed mods in, not realizing that I had put speed mods in at a higher stage, and that kind of broke the mod a little bit. Because you can override module requests in the mod, which is weird. Because I don't think you can actually do that in the game. But it handles changing modules a little bit weirdly. Same with like changing if you change logic on a inserter or something, that also breaks things. You play 2 rounds of disc golf. I don't know why I saw that and I read it as like virtual golf, like golf with your friends. like digital golf or something. Disc golf is fun. I'm not good at it. I'm absolutely terrible at throwing frisbees. I don't know. I don't know how to get that skill. I mean, mostly I just don't play enough. But, no. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any form of frisbee game, honestly. Like Ultimate Frisbee, which is admittedly not trying to insult anybody. I don't know what makes it ultimate. You get that skill by being a crazy person. Do you see what I'm doing right now? I think we already have that in the bag. Yeah, I don't quite get what makes Ultimate Frisbee ultimate. I think it's really fun. But it just looks like a sport to me. Like calling soccer Ultimate Soccer or something, like when it's just, you know, soccer. Or football. I imagine most people here do not call it soccer, actually. Rugby? Let's go with rugby. Just honestly, you could, any sport. Too long didn't read. I don't think ultimate means anything, but it is fun. There we go. But this looks good. Okay, so more acid and batteries are good. You only have 300, 500 hours just throwing in a soccer football field. Do you, like, time it? Oh god, what did I just delete? Do you think that was important? Did I just save it? I feel like I just saved it like 2 seconds ago. Guess we can find out. I mean, I guess I can just look. I saved it a minute ago. Okay, so it would probably still be in the same spot. I clicked on the wrong row. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen like an hourly estimate outside of a game. So it just seems off. But yeah, that's fun. What? Add a bajillion roboports, burner drills, more acid. Okay. Bajillion roboports, burner drills, more acid. Not really, you just roughly know how long you throw for when you practice in a field and know how roughly how many days a week you play. Oh yeah, I guess it's not a hard value to get a rough estimate on. It's just usually when someone gives me a range like that, especially at that value, it's almost always how many hours they've played Factorio. So it just surprised me a bit. Okay, so it looks like we did hopefully do this. I think we did this. We added the modules at least. It's not the best solution, but I think it's perfectly fine solution. Yeah, and Factorios. Yeah, true. Just add an extra 0 and then you have your Factorio estimate, right? That seems to be how it goes for a lot of people. Okay, so burner drills are at bare minimum. Bare minimum is enough. This is just a list of something I want to check later. Once we do the test run. Okay, loop space science. This is only really necessary for research speed. It doesn't technically do anything in terms of actual... it doesn't really save time unless I think I'll be researching to the last second. So I don't think looping space science is really that important. But how hard would it be? I don't think it's hard at all. That's the thing. It's just me being lazy. Let's see. We could change this. We can loop it. We can loop... Oh, is it just me being lazy? It might not just be me being lazy. Hold on. How do you do this? Okay, so we can loop space science. We have the space over here. The issue with it is that we're not looping the other resources, so I don't actually know how we would get these belts to be on the correct side. Because basically we would need a underground to be here and here, which doesn't quite work. So we can't really loop it. And because we have them split off, we can't just recycle everything at the end because we'll have a weird prio. Like, you know, if my issue is just having things backed up on the belt, we could just loop it, but it's a balancing issue. So just like collecting them at the end and looping them accomplishes nothing and actually makes it that the first half will pretty much always run and the second half will never run. So we don't want to do that. Honestly, it's not terrible. Okay, let's say we don't loop it, right? This holds. Let's make a save because I'm about to delete something to test something. Delete. That was very vague. I'm about to delete a bunch of belts to see how much these hold. To see how much we're actually wasting. Cannot be mined. Where can I mine it? You know, we're just going to move it all to this stage because we're just going to make some permanent changes. Okay, they have moved stages. Okay, 78 science per row. So that means worst case scenario, the last 100 science will only have 4 labs going towards it, which is 20% reduction in speed. That's not terrible. Like 100 space science going into 4 labs for the last, what would be, let's see, it would be minions. Minions is not the name of the tech. This one. So basically the last robot follower speed, I don't know which tier it is. I think it's pretty high, like 15 or something. This one, the last 5% of it will be a quarter speed. So we're losing. It's going to be like 10% slower on average. Yeah, that's not worth redesigning it. That's definitely not worth redesigning it. Because I'm not too worried about early balance. Although I guess looping it would help with early balance too. But the main concern, I mean, I guess early on our limit is going to be getting rockets launched. I think we're launching rockets way faster than we're researching. I don't know, it could be worth looping. Let's see, what do we have? What is this? What is this belt? Because realistically we can loop them both, right? That's what it comes down to. So we have yellow science and we have purple science. We could loop them through the entire thing. I think that is better than a splitter. I just don't know if the loop works with the double-sided. That's the main thing. I think we're not going to get anything accomplished looking here, because we can't really modify it. What if we clone it? Do we have anything with an infinity chest? Only one thing has an infinity chest here. Din panics to try to figure out what's a far frisbee throw on Google. 30 meters sounds far to me. But super far, that would be like 40 meters. But that's also probably really low. I don't know. I feel like people play on like large fields, so it's actually definitely a lot higher. Like football? Are they like football field? Can people throw them across a football field? That would be like 300 feet. But that seems reasonable. I could see someone throwing something in like an Olympic-sized field. Yeah, no, okay, now it sounds a lot smaller. Because I'm thinking like that the 30 meters actually is yeah, not too much. For an ultimate disc, 60 meters is like enthusiast level. Okay. Well, we could still... 30 meters is super far then. I still stand by that. As someone who is bad at sports. At least. 100 meters with an ultimate disc is pro range. Okay. Okay, wow, so people can't actually throw them like the length of a football field? Which, is a great measurement, but... Yeah, that's far. I can throw it accurately 5 feet in front of me, maybe. After that, it goes in a direction. But hey, having fun is all that matters when I'm not getting paid for it, right? Okay. Can we redesign this? Well, okay, I guess the reason this wasn't working is because I was trying to loop them. I was trying to loop just one of them. If we loop them both, I don't think we have a problem. Okay, never mind. We have a space issue, though. This right here, we have a space issue. These ones, we don't have a space issue. Disc golf, which is very different than ultimate disc. Enthusiasts are in the 100 to 120 range a lot. Oh wait, they're actually different. I thought they just had like different goals, or different like rules. Do they actually have different frisbees? I'm imagining that's what the difference would. I mean, if it's like a 100% difference, I can imagine they're definitely different. Okay, the more you know. We have enough space. Do we have enough space going back? Well, yeah. Okay, but how do we make the loop? Maybe I don't need to make the loop. Because my main concern... Okay, my main concerns are start time and resources on the belts at the end. So if I don't do a loop and instead just snake it, that solves one of the problem. It solves the start time problem. It does not solve the resources on the end, belt at the end problem, but it doesn't make it worse. So it doesn't exacerbate that issue. So I think that's something we can live with. The only reason I didn't snake it in the beginning was because it didn't seem worth it. But I think it's cheaper with comparable cost. Maybe not cheaper. It's basically identical in cost, though. I don't think it's something to avoid. The main thing is it would require me to change all the logic, and I didn't want to do that, but it's not hard to do. So I'm not too concerned anymore. What is this? Oh, right. This is a fuel and a green science belt, and then we have a fuel and a red science belt. Okay, I remember my design now. Hello, polynomials. Welcome, welcome. We're redesigning science a little bit right now. I'm just kind of doing the finishing touches on the base before I do all of the fuel stuff. But like most of the aspects of it are designed. So I'm hoping to start doing practice runs soon. So we can do the actual run mid-June. Because I think those seem like reasonable time goals unless something is very, very, very broken. Like if something very critical is broken in like the middle of the base, working around is going to be pretty tough. But like a minor error, like most things are workable. So unless something's off by a factor of like 5 with an estimate, most things I don't think will delay the actual run if we realize there's an error. Like it would have to lose me like an estimate of 1 to like 3 hours for me to just be like, okay, we can't play this. But yeah, I think we can snake this just fine. What if I only loop space science? Disc golfs are about 21 centimeters or about 28 for ultimate disc. Is there also a weight difference? Aside from just size, like is it denser? Or are they the same material? I'm mostly just wondering because that distance is huge, but if the only difference is like size, then I really do not understand aerodynamics. Oh, okay. 175. Okay, they're not like... So they're probably a little bit denser then, but not like drastically. Wait, hold on. I guess area-wise, that could be like 50% denser. Never mind, that is drastic. Forgot how area works. Classic. But yeah, I think we can make this work. We could also, like, we can just loop the space science. That's a reasonable option. Because that's the, well, it's not the expensive one, actually. That's mostly yellow science. Actually, purple science, I think, is the pricey one for us. But space science has a limited amount of launches. Like, we have circuit logic to disable it. We don't have that for purple and yellow science. So if one of those will back up the belt. Space science won't. Which is why I only care about looping one. But yeah, it looks like See, this needs to be shifted. I was in map mode again. Yeah, if anyone's ever wondering, if you see me like randomly teleport when I switch stages, it's because I was in map view, not editor view. And practically speaking, there's not a huge difference. In editor view, you can clear the belt. You can't do that in map view. And that's about it. So I never really notice until I change stages and it teleports me. Whoa, why is this one so loud? There we go. Distance drivers for disc golf are very thin and cut the air very well. They are designed to be thrown in the 100 to 130 kilometers per hour ballpark. Okay, learning a lot more facts about disc golf than I expected today. I think my physical therapist actually plays. But I have not known much about it. I just know he goes to do it a lot. That and golfing, which I feel like are very... I didn't have anything to say. I don't know what I was going to start to say. Very relaxing sounding sports. I guess it depends. Depends how pro you are at them, though. But they seem like relaxing summary sports. Yeah, I guess this isn't hand-built. I'm trying to make that less ugly, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is a random belt. It doesn't matter where it goes. Awesome. We just need to find which layer it's on. Cool. Didn't add any entities. Maybe added one entity. Because we had... Actually, no. No, it didn't add any entities. Doesn't make anything harder. Okay, cool. Now we have to flip all of these. Okay, so space science is going to come around, right? Ooh, actually, space science should come from the top. Okay, so space science has the least travel if we start it up top. I think that's pretty straightforward. I think if we're redesigning this anyway, it doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, if I wasn't doing a full redesign here, I would try to keep it relatively the same. But if it's going to be drastically different anyway, we might as well roll with it. Okay, so yellow science doesn't start initially, but that's fine. I guess we build the labs too for the science, but it doesn't actually matter. It just was how I originally designed it, and I'm just sticking with it. Okay. So this would go straight. Actually, no, we can swap these. Hold on, I need to go get chapstick really quick. Having trouble saying certain words. Okay. As I was saying, we're redesigning this anyway. I can switch which side the splitters are on. If anyone's wondering, though, these are basically acting as long inserters right now. Haven't really mentioned that in a long time. Because we haven't really had to design something with this many inputs in a while. But you don't have... Burner inserters don't have... They don't have speed, and they don't have length options. So they are 4 times slower than a fast inserter. Almost 4 times slower than a fast inserter. I think it's a little bit lower, but also with, like, self-feeding and latency, I think it ends up being about 4 times slower in practice. They're like 12 times slower than a stack inserter. But they also don't have long inserter options. So if you need to grab 3 items from one side, this is your option. What you do is space science goes through here, yellow and purple science go through here, and then halfway through they swap sides. I don't think I have a belt with anything on it, do I? Might have something somewhere. No, I don't. Do I have any instances of using this? Oh, well, this is another option. You can also use full sushi, but full sushi has a lot of balancing issues, so I try to avoid it where I can. And also performance issues. But the main thing is it has balance issues, and at low throughputs, burner inserters are so slow they can't really grab from a sushi belt. So it has a lot of problems, and since this stuff is fairly low throughput, it's low throughput towards the end because there's so many labs, but we're pretty much maxing out belt capacity, so that's a bit rough. And we can't use red belts either because burner inserters are awful. So there's a lot of problems there. We can't balance it with red inserters, we can't balance red belts, we can't balance it with fast inserters to make it work. It's great. But yeah, I don't... We definitely use it more than that, but we don't use it that much more than that. Oh, this, red belts. Red belts use that feature. I guess this kind of shows it. It's not fully set up. We recently clicked the rebuild stage buttons on all of them, which clears them of all the belts so we don't have anything. But yeah, you can see here, like, the plastic switches sides after every assembly machine, or after every inserter pair. It just makes it that two inserters next to each other can grab both copper cables, red belt, copper cables, green chips, and plastic. That's the gist of it, which is fine. It does make it really annoying to hand build, but they're always annoying to hand build, so that's not worse. I mean, that can't be any worse than anything else, at least. Okay, so if we're doing this, space science would be here. Does not matter what side space science is on. This will be yellow and purple, so yellow and purple goes here, then it switches again. Okay, cool. And now we go up here, and we loop around, which ideally I would loop here. I want to keep it consistent, so I think we're going to try to loop it there. We just need to figure out what layer this one is on. Oh, same layer. Perfect. But yeah, just for build speed purposes, keeping this consistent will be nice. Otherwise, it's going to not be something I can copy and paste. Okay, perfect. But yeah, if we keep everything relative to the same spots, we're good. Okay, that works. Now I have lost track which side it's on, so that's the confusing thing. Okay, so space science is on this side. Now it needs to be on this side. Oh, perfect. We can literally just use the rotate button. That's actually surprising. Normally when you switch directions of stuff with splitters, you have to copy it and flip it, because when you rotate it, the filter's, now on the opposite side, which normally isn't ideal. But in this specific instance, it actually is fine. It looks how I would expect it to look. Okay, this is actually, I cut that too close, because I'm realizing now this is where the yellow science is supposed to go, which is fine. Definitely not an issue. Just a small mistake on my part. Okay, and then I think military science is also in here. I don't care that much about military science. We're not going to bother looping that. We just need to figure out which belt it is and delete it. I want to say it's the inner belt. Definitely not this one. Yeah, okay, it's the one that looks odd, which I think is all of our belts, so I don't think that helps narrow it down. Okay, that seems fine. I think that's all of them, actually. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I guess we only have 11, or we only have 6 points where it crosses. I was thinking it was going to be a much larger project, but it's really not. Okay, so on the top side, it looks like we need to go up an extra tile compared to the bottom, which is definitely not a problem. Yeah. Okay. And that's just because this has the military science. So we can either shift military science out, or we can shift this one tile. Not an issue. Something we can work with for sure. Okay, this stops one tile earlier, then it goes under. Okay, perfect. Now I think we have to switch which side these in again, right? Yeah. Okay. Now this is something we can hopefully copy and paste. Mostly. The beacons are going to be in different spots, but I think the inserters are all in the same spot relative to each other. It's just the beacons are slightly shifted, because there's not a good pattern for the beacons, so it's like one tile on the top, one tile on the bottom, 2 tiles on the top. You can't really make the beacons line up with an odd number here, or an even number. But it's fine. definitely not a huge deal. We definitely have much worse things to be worried about than that. Or much more annoying things to be worried about than that. Okay, so hopefully now we can copy this section. We can line it up with the other military, I guess. Okay, there we go. We'll have to double check that this works, but I think we're okay. We're actually gonna copy the. Actually, no, that's the last one. We don't need to copy it. Okay, moment of truth. Let's do it again. This is the one that we tried to fix earlier, which we did. I just accidentally copied this belt in the process, but I don't think we broke anything. I don't actually know what this belt is, but it seems fine. Okay, flip around, flip around, flip around, and I guess we can just truncate it there. Now, if I really wanted to, we do technically have a spot to loop back the space science. So it's not a bad idea. I think I should set it up. Because I will 100%, because I might regret it later. But I won't regret setting it up, because it's much easier to set it up now and then delete it later than it would be to not set it up now, because this will give me an idea of how much space I have left to work with. The other way won't. If I don't build it now, I'll think that this space is free and I could build something else here, and then realize I can't, do what I want later. So yeah, we're just gonna add the loop, especially since it is incredibly easy to set up. Like, this is all we have to do. It doesn't even matter where it gets sideloaded, because the side doesn't matter. Okay, let's follow the space science. Space science gets flipped. It gets flipped. It's on this outer belt. We don't have the visualizer mod. Inserter up. Inserter down. It's on the inside. Good. Now it's on the bottom. Perfect. It's on the top. Okay, I think we flipped them all. We could also test it by putting stuff on the belt, which is actually a smarter idea. Don't know why I'm following it manually. It just sounded kind of fun. Inside, then it flips, and then it flips again, and then it should have one more flip. Flip, flip, and then it recycles, and then the purple and yellow science, I said screw it. We're not going to worry about it. I can technically recycle that if I really want to. Actually, I feel like this should be a red belt. Yeah, this should definitely be a red belt, because this is a recycle belt. Which means I also don't want to reach a situation where it's just being recycled and then nothing researches. So faster belt makes sense there, especially since it's not that expensive. Which makes me wonder, can I make it more compact? Probably. Don't think it matters. Oh, this is actually a better... I think this is a better distance, though. It saves a few entities. Not as many as I was hoping. Okay, and then we can end it with a red belt. Perfect. And then we might as well, for upgrading that, upgrade this initial part. Once it gets to regular inserters, having them grab from a red belt is a bad idea, which is why the rest of this section is not red belt. But I'm not too worried about that. I might make these output thread too, because I think this is late enough in the game where 72 red belts is not that expensive. We're about to put like 1,000 every hour, or I think every half an hour. We're gonna output like 1,000 red belts. So it's really, it's not much to make it that this runs better, or with less latency. Yeah, I think this is a better option than completely backing up. We can save one red belt by turning belt for side loading yellow. Oh yeah, you're right. I can save this one. I forgot I had one that was too short. Good catch. I can't upgrade this one. I can probably upgrade the output though, right? Oh, I also need to upgrade this one. Let's actually upgrade this. Oof. I think I'd made a mistake upgrading this way. Yeah, I was referring to the other one. I have not figured out what you meant yet. If you could add more detail, that would be great, because I am not sure what you meant. And the horizontal. Yeah, we could do the one in the middle. I wonder if this is getting a bit too expensive now. It's not awful. Yeah, I guess it's still fairly cheap. Let's see, that one has max entities. This one's good. We can go one more. This one can go one more. This one can go two more. One more, two more. Perfect. Okay. That one's good, and then we can get the middle section if we really wanted to. Might as well. I love how I have to stop it right before the inserters are there, because inserters are so bad. These ones aren't being recycled, so those ones I don't care about. The only reason I care about these is because they're being recycled. So I want them to go through as fast as they can. So there's less dead time. Okay, the recycle belt I just did. Oh, did I miss something on the recycle belt? On the top of the belt, you turn around and sideload has a belt that never has items on it. I'll need a look, because I thought I had a sideload. I thought I had this unnecessary sideload already ignored. Yeah, I'll double check. I like how the only time I care about latency is for this one section where latency doesn't matter. I just want to feel like I'm, doing something. Okay. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. This sideload is there because this belt will be connected. Okay, I see what you mean. This isn't forcing a sideload. This is just where this belt will connect when it's built. Yeah, I get what you mean. It does just look like I'm forcing a sideload. No, we just haven't built the belt yet. We can probably still delete it, though. I just wasn't sure where it was going to end up. Okay, so this somehow... Wait. Where's the sign? Okay, there it is. Can we go through here? Belt saving is nice, but I also want to make this not a complete... I want to not go through this giant area I have. Gotta make sure we save every belt possible. Yeah, exactly. It's very important on this 12-hour run to save a fraction of a millisecond. Very, very, very important. Okay, that should work. But yeah, the reason I didn't feed the space science through here is because this is going to be this section is going to have my mall on it in some way. Left side has redundant belts. What do you mean? Oh, these ones? I missed one, okay. I missed two. Honey can go longer without messing with burners. Yeah, this one, right? And then the output. Okay. There we go. And that means this one can go longer. There you go, awkward sideload. That should be fine. Yeah, this is a lot of belts. 128 red belt. Honestly, it's not that much. That's like one belt. This is honestly, I mostly just did this for fun, because we don't care about latency in most of our base. It felt nice to finally care for it somewhere. Even if it's literally the least important part of my base to care about. It feels nice. We gotta give it something. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Let's test it. Using, I guess infinity chests are fine. I always build these wrong. That's why I have a blueprint. Right. We're just gonna filter. Force delete it. That should be fine. Okay. Purple and yellow. And then we'll make this one space science, and it can just... just go there, that's fine. Okay, we're just making sure that they all reach the right part of the belt. Honestly, this might actually be a bad idea. No, okay, it seems to grab from it just fine. I was worried since it still has some velocity after leaving this belt. We might not be able to save this belt here, but because they're not self-feeding, it probably doesn't matter. I'm trying to see if it's gonna matter at low throughput. It probably won't. Let's see. Space science. Okay, yeah, it should be fine. It would have to have like a very weird order. I think it would be less fine if it was self-feeding, but we're good. Gotta love self-feeding inserters. They're terrible. Now this is what we call... Is that a pod racing recipe? Is that a pod racing reference? Actually, wait, is that the original quote? Because I only know it as the pod racing meme. But I wonder if it... Now this is what I call pod racing? Or no, this is pod racing? But that might not be the original. That could just be like what somebody put for the meme. Oh gosh, now I don't know. I need to rewatch the prequels. I know they're highly renowned. What's happening here? Is my recycling loop working? Okay, I can also speed it up. Okay, so these seem to be grabbing everything. Wait, why am I looking at the belt? I can literally just look to see if the labs all have the resources and work fine. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I had to actually follow the belt. As long as the as long as the labs get filled, it means we're good. You think that's the quote? Yeah. Okay. You never know. I saw a thread the other day which was just original quotes and all the memes that were made out of them, and I just never realized that the memes weren't the original quote. I thought the memes that were made in response to that meme were the quote. And then it just made me question everything, honestly. Like, you can't trust memes. Like, what can you trust anymore if you can't trust memes? I think there's one with Saruman where it's completely wrong. Damn, that's so sad. How could they change that? Minuscule suboptimal beacon distribution? Do you have... Can you clarify? So you have chosen death as the wrong picture. Okay, well that's not... At least that's only partially wrong, right? Like, wrong picture but correct quote is at least better than, like, just making up a complete... Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, these are very different pictures. But at least it's the right guy, I imagine. Half the labs have 6 beacons instead of 8. Could you clarify? Are you sure? Because their research speed is identical. Oh wait, is that just... Oh wait. I see what you mean. Oh, okay. Oh, they're not powered. Right. You used it without knowing about it. Nice. There are things that are created independent from another. Honestly, that's such like a... That's definitely something that I think could be pretty generic too. So I would be surprised if we just had multiple sources. I just think of Anakin. Do you have an idea of how to fix it? Will it reduce the lab count, or what? Will it actually have a benefit? Well, we have to power it first, I guess. Let's find this out. Let's see, we have the flying power grid. That should work. I mean, because currently it just seems like it'll be more balanced, right? It won't actually increase my production. Oh, whoa, whoa, this one's really low. Oh, they don't all have beacons. That's even worse. See, this one's an actual problem. not having modules at all is a problem. Yeah, okay, I see. The middle like sections have 4. If I shift them all by a tile, does it balance it out? Is that the only thing that would change? Gosh, I don't even know how I would test that. Oh, there's the part. Oh, okay, so there's nothing I can fix about that then. Okay, so it's nothing to worry about. I thought I just had them placed. I thought I would just have them placed in the wrong spot somewhere. Yeah, there's nothing I can do for tiling that would be worth it. Because like saving a lab isn't that important over having a build that actually I can fix and change. It might be doable if the beacons are... Yeah, we might be able to save like a beacon somewhere by like shifting them. But the thing is, you might have a balanced distribution at that point, but now you just have less research speed. So I don't think you end up with a huge advantage. Maybe if we shift just the middle row? Oh wait, we don't have space. I was gonna say if we shift the middle row a little bit, we can get it balanced out. You think you can leave a 1-tile gap between beacons when there's a 4 between the labs? Well, that balances it, but that means you have less research speed. Like, that gives you a more balanced ratio, but you just objectively have less, right? Because at least they might not all be powering something, but they're all powering at least 2. Whereas if we shift it... one beacon can power 1 more. I don't know. I'm not sure. Do I have to manually add it to test that? Now, if shifting it made it power more than 1 beacon additionally, I could see it makes sense. Do we have any that are only powering 1? Okay, we do have some that are only powering 1. But if we had a gap... and we shifted this one down, okay. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 at 565 and 6 at 705. Most is objectively not true. That one I can say with certainty. Half, maybe. Yeah, we can say half. Okay, so if this was staggered... So it would be like this. Now this one's still only powering 1. I guess the starting it on the end was a bad way to test it. Okay, so that's powering 2. Okay, then we leave that gap. I guess that's going to be there regardless. There's not much we can do about that. Oh god, what is this pattern? That only powers 1. Oh, this one only powers 1. That's why the pattern's off. I was wondering. Okay, that makes more sense. So is the goal to only place them if they power 2? Is that how we find the pattern? Oh god, the pattern is weird. I don't know if pattern's the right word, actually. Okay, why is this one weird? Oh, because I started that one weird. That's why. Okay. And then this one I probably just want because I need the research speed. I don't know if this one needs 2. Okay, so I'm guessing it looks like this then. I could maybe do one on the end. What is this at? 12 times. Let's delete the ones in the middle too. Actually, wait, how do I delete the ones in the middle? No, probably not. Okay, sorry. I had a cough when I pressed the wrong button. And what were the other ones? 705. Well, I can't really compare left labs to right labs that easily because I have to consider the middle ones. It's easier to just write them down. Okay, so we have a total speed of 7620 with this. Yeah, comparing left and right would make sense except for the overlapping layer in the middle. Makes it a little bit wonkier. Okay, so something like this should work then. Saves 8 beacons. I'll take it. Okay, cool. And then if I want, maybe I just do the ones in the middle. So that way I waste them less. This probably has a comparable production. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if that makes the belt easier. No, it does not, unfortunately. I was hoping maybe it would make it that we didn't need these undergrounds here. Okay, these ones I think don't matter. Yeah, these all only affect one anyway. The only one we could really shift are these edge ones. Yeah, this one has burner inserter limitations. I forgot. There's not much we can do there. Actually, we spent a long time on that. Even if there was, this is not getting a redesign. This was horrible. We're not changing that one. Okay, now we need to put these in the correct layer, which is this one. I kind of want to stagger them. I don't think I can, but I want the middle to be staggered. I mean, I guess technically I could stagger it up by 2 tiles. Actually, no, I can't. That runs out of space. Oh wait, this should go here to keep the pattern. But it's only going to affect one either way, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, I don't think I can shift these enough. Worst case scenario, this saves 1 beacon. That one's not worth it. Now, I don't actually know if these use speed 3s. I really don't know. I think we plan for them to use speed 3s. I don't think it's going to matter. At the very least, they'll get speed 2s. We can probably look at our base and find that out, though. We should be producing them here. Yeah, if we're producing them, they're here. Okay, so it looks like we're just using speed 2s. Wait, this doesn't have... Wait. Unless we're producing them up here. No, these are prod 3s. Okay, does anybody who know the 100% run, do they use speed 3s in their labs, or do they use speed 2s? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much. We probably have more than enough research at speed 2. Honestly, we probably have enough research speed at speed 1. This is a fair amount of labs for 12 hours of research time. But I'm just curious. Okay. So that looks good. Split double blue chip lane. What the hell does that mean? That would be this. What does that mean? It uses prod 3 in labs and speed 3. It does use speed 3 in the beacons? Okay. Okay. I wonder if we just decided I didn't need it? Or am I missing an assembly machine somewhere? Because this is just speed 2s. I don't see a speed 3 assembler. Inserter limit? Nah. Research is really slow. I don't think there's a research speed. I don't think there's an inserter limit. Not when you have... Ooh, maybe for yellow silence. You managed to ask a 100% question you understand. Normally that won't happen. Okay. So don't ping you whenever I have a question. Ping? I guess ping is the wrong word. Ping is referring to someone by name. Is now pinging. Those are wrong. But yeah. I don't think we're inserter limit. Maybe for purple and yellow science we might be. There is a chance that these could technically be research limit, beacon limited, or inserter limited. I think it's unlikely, but there are some scenarios where it's possible. Because if we look at what most of our research will be, it's going to be researching this, which is a minute. So even with like a 10 times speed boost, that's still like 1 every like 6 seconds. A 30-second research is definitely the fastest. That's 1 every 3 seconds. So those, okay, the 30-second research would actually be inserter limited here. So we probably don't need to stress about speed 2s then. We'll just, or speed 3s. We'll just do speed 1s. Or sorry, speed 2s. I said all of them in a short time, and I got confused which one I was talking about. Okay, so this is actually set to disable itself. Honestly, it looks like I wasn't even planning to use speed 2s. That's why I don't have a buffer chest here, but we can use them. I think if we use them, we'll have to disable this one after a grab. We'll actually need to change the logic. This would disable after 50, this would disable after like 25. I'm pretty sure all of these are... Well, these are definitely planned around speed 3s. They can't get faster. Are there any 30-second... I think follower speed, right? Yeah, follower speed does. And then maybe atomic bomb? That's 45. Yeah, it's really just the follower one. Anything else, we're probably still item limited at that point. But yeah, it's nothing so critical that I think it's gonna be like make or break the run if we don't have the inserter working at full speed. Because it's such a small percentage of our research. Okay, I'm actually gonna add a note then. We're just gonna replace this one so I don't have to resort it. Speed 2s for labs. Because I don't think we need this, but just in case, I want to remember to double check later. Now, I still don't know what split double blue chip lane. Double blue chip lane is probably this one, but what does split mean? What could split possibly mean in this case? It's split 3 times. Maybe it just meant send to RCUs? Maybe it meant send elsewhere? No, we do send it elsewhere. I'm going to assume that comment has been established. Because this has 3 splitters that send it all back to the main lane. And combine it with the old blue chip lane, I think. Yeah, I think we can assume this one's done, because I don't know what it could mean. Why would you do a burner 100% base? I find burner inserters fascinating. Even if they're just the worst thing ever. But they're really fun. We're going through our checklist right now to see what if we're missing any critical parts. And fixing anything super obvious while we're here. But I mean, for the most part, our base looks pretty good, which is nice. Yeah, I find it fun. It's just a fun little side project. I've done it once before without blueprints, but I wanted to make an actual base that we could submit a run for. Because we could do it in one stream. Now, it's a long stream, and there's the last 2 hours I will probably be AFK. But it will technically be in one recording. I'll probably end stream and then just let it AFK, because I don't think there's anything I can do. Fancy challenges add a ton of replay value. Yeah, but we have enough challenges, honestly. I have a long list of 30 before I run out of ideas. This one doesn't need to be there. But it's fun. So it is there. That's the important thing. But yeah, it's we definitely have a lot of other ideas, but considering this one's the longest one we've done, it definitely adds a lot of more replay value than any individual challenge, considering we've been working on it for 3 months. Okay, that makes it sound like we've been working on it for 40 hours a week. We've been working on it 2 to 4 hours a week for a few months. It's not as crazy as it sounds when I just say a few months. I keep forgetting to specify that. So that way people think I haven't been working on it for 500 hours, you know? Don't want to give anyone the wrong ideas. I have my limits for how insane I am. Not many, but they're there. Speed tubes from labs, these are a possibility. Okay, should I be marking these as optional? Maybe that would be a good idea. That way I don't have to rethink how important they are. Add a bajillion roboports. Okay, that's necessary. This one's optional. We can move this one down. Not optional, not optional, not optional. Okay, these ones are required. Okay, yeah, that will make it really clear. It's oh, this is just an optimization I could do. As opposed to strictly necessary. Okay, military stuff, combat bots. I'm pretty sure that's the thing we have smack dab in the middle of our base, which admittedly is a weird spot for it, but I forgot about them. So they're here. Don't know how. I think these are going to be delivered to me via logistic bot, because I don't really see myself walking down here very often, but they're there. That's what matters. I don't mind using logistic bots for personal delivery. We'll not use them for anything that goes into an inserter, but we need them for an achievement, so I don't mind using them for refilling my inventory with building materials or combat materials. Because that's not going to make a huge difference. It's just going to make it that achievement is a little bit less of me standing next to a chest for 30 seconds. Okay, more furnace production. Electric furnace production. I'm fairly certain that's what this is. And these are not input speed limited, I don't think, in any way. 1.5, 1.5. It's pushing it, but they're not technically input limited once we get all the research speeds. And I guess we have doubled up inserters, so it's probably okay. Bricks are definitely pushing it. So these will all run at about 80% speed until we get stack size 3. That's fine, because stack size 3 is the first thing we go for once we get yellow science. Or purple science, or both. Don't remember which one it is. Purple science. Oh, no, it is both. Okay, so these will be limited. Then they won't be limited, so we're good. Now this does say it produces up to 7.75. I think we have enough steel and bricks for that. Let's see, 7.5 bricks per second. Realistically, this can produce like 15. So hopefully those bricks get used somewhere else. Otherwise, this is just wasted. Actually, I'm going to add that. Repurpose initial brick build. I'm going to say optional. Or downgrade. Because if we downgrade it, it's just cheaper to build, right? But since I don't have a specific spot that this is going towards, I think I decided that I'm just going to produce more bricks locally. Because the place that they were necessary was up here. Which is very far. Not worth the belt. When I could just add a furnace lane up here. Okay, more red belt, optional. I think we already did that. We definitely already did that, so we'll delete that. Stone bricks for refineries. That's referring to this one. That is actually not set up. We have not done any form of brick lane for the mall. Okay, so that one actually is important. Actually, why haven't we done a brick lane here? No, wait, we have to have one. We have a steel furnace lane. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, this one's not permanent. So this one is high priority. But we can't do it until we do the fuel line. So stone brick lane for refineries required. But as a note, has to be done after coal line. And that's just because it's going to be on the outer side of our base, which I know it looks a little bit weird to do it this way. But basically what it boils down to is I need this first lane to be cheaper. So if I were to have this brick lane be here, and obviously looking at it in hindsight, I would have just had the brick lane up here. I just kind of forgot about it because I wasn't sure if we were going to be using steel furnaces this early. But I think I decided I will. So that's why it's not at the top. But obviously I can't just like leave a space here later because that fuel belt will require 2 extra undergrounds for every single row. So that's just going to make the upfront cost of this like 30 undergrounds more, which is actually kind of pricey. Maybe we can work with that. It depends how my starter mall looks, but yeah, I didn't want to add a cost of 30 undergrounds, so I just put this on the end. And it's not going to make this that much harder to build, because this can go kind of anywhere. So that's what that boils down to. It's a little bit of a unconventional design, but that's no different than the rest of the game. Now I don't know where this is going. Okay, that one's going there. What is this belt going towards? This is a bricks and a furnace lane. I see it. Okay. Yeah, honestly, that's not terrible there. It only requires me to place 1 splitter. Yeah, because these are self-feeding, which actually means... Well, let's find which lane they're actually on. Well, okay, they would be hand-built, so... There we go. So these are self-feeding, so these actually need to... Oh wait, they need outputs. How do we do this? Self-feeding burner self-feeding burner inserters are fine for every smelting lane except for steel and bricks. That's why they're doubled up. Because of how much the internal buffer is for stone. They'll brown themselves out before they get any fuel in a lot of scenarios. That's what the doubling up is for. It's not the end of the world if we don't have it, but obviously doubling it up is cheaper than losing half of our production over time. So it's definitely worth it, especially when it's 12 extra inserters. Only downside is I still don't have an output though for this. Maybe I should try to figure out how to put it here. Yeah. I mean, we can fix that once we finalize it. Trying to make it clean when it's not, when I'm not sure if it's going to be here or here isn't, doesn't seem like it's that worth my time. Ooh. Oh, wait. I think I have an idea. We place it here. It does make it that it requires 4 extra belts, or like 5 extra belts, for every column here. However, the straight non-undergrounds can be the first one I place. Like, there's nothing that says the undergrounds have to be on the vertical belt, right? So these coal belts can be placed first. Then when I place the stone belt in the gap, once I have more undergrounds, then we can place that. I think I like that, actually. No, that's actually pretty solid. We have one too few tiles to work with here. That is very, very annoying. Can I just shift this like 1 tile up? Will that work? This might break things. We'll see. Okay, it was here, now it's here. The side here doesn't matter. We'll shift that down. We'll shift everything. We'll shift everything down just a little bit. Okay, now we should have enough for the brick lane here. Okay, so this does make it cost, well, I guess realistically between all of these, we're looking at, for every row we're adding 13 belts. That's not a ton. For a grand total of 65 additional belts. I can live with either of those numbers. It's really, really not a big deal. Okay, so now we can put the brick lane here. I think that lines up correctly. Yep, that should be good. We have the splitter on the end right here. The spacing is a little bit unconventional, but that's fine. Why isn't that copied correctly? Oh, I missed a belt. There you go. Okay, so this is nice and smart belt compatible. It's obviously slightly more expensive than it would be. No. Okay, if I hand build this, I can save 12 undergrounds. Not worth it. Not worth it. I can make this smart belt compatible, or I can save 12 belt. Definitely going with the smart belt compatible at this point in the run.
Beep taco.
Because it's saving the 12 belts. It would be spending 12 extra belt really early when I care about the belt cost, and it would be saving smart belt time when I don't care about the smart belt, the belt cost. So yeah, definitely not a fair trade-off. Okay, so now this just goes straight through somehow, and oh, it just goes straight through. It's actually very easy. I like that. Do you want to switch stone brick inserters to not be self-feeding? I don't think so. Well, okay, build speed-wise, does it matter? I guess build speed-wise is the same, so yeah, might as well. Well, it's not the same, but it's not that much different. So yeah, we might as well add the inserters. We could also give them logic. But only half of them can get logic. Which, yeah. Because doing this is not that much harder than doing this. So yeah, might as well. Good catch. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be filtered at the end. Somehow. Don't know which side is going to have bricks on it. But it doesn't really matter. Actually, it does. Okay, we'll figure it out. But this is supposed to have sticks and stone on it. Don't know how that's going to work. We don't really have enough space. Heading out? Oh, is it time? Then I should probably be heading out soon, too. I just want to connect this, and then I'll probably call it. This is supposed to go somewhere over here. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I don't need to keep bricks. Oh, never mind. This is a lot easier than I thought it was. So I was trying to make it way more complicated than it need to be. And the reason for that is because I thought I had to keep bricks on this. I don't. I need to keep bricks on one half and stone on the other. I don't need both, which means this can just go straight through very easily. Because this just needs the stone, this just needs the bricks. The only reason I had it set up like that earlier is because I filtered it ahead of time. So it didn't matter. But yeah, we just need to make sure stone is on the correct side here. And this is Smart Belt compatible. It's a weird build order, but it is Smart Belt compatible. So stone bricks needs to be on the bottom. Okay, perfect. If not, I would have just flipped the whole lane. Would have been an easy fix, but it doesn't look like we need to worry about it. And then it gets side loaded. Cool. Stone brick lane for refineries is required. I'm just gonna say put on right layer, because I think this one is done. Okay, finish on patch build. I think we did that. We did that one. Redesign outpost. We did do that one. They're not finalized though. Redesign outposts. Not redesign, but clean up inputs. Because they're not like a blueprint yet. They're just designed. Get bricks through the base or make more furnaces. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to put that. So when I look at it in the future, I'll know I was confused at some point. Finish on patch build. Okay, so we're just going to say that's done. Stone brick lane for refinery is required. I'll just put clean up. Or double check. Maybe double check. Because I didn't look at it that closely. Let's see. Spare resources for outpost production. Don't know what that means. Original base might have extra steel. It could be worth belting. Oh, okay. And that's fair. We'll keep that there. That's optional, though. Because we also can just add an extra lane. Local belt or distributions. Okay, that one's already there. RCUs are done. Bot chest, not done. Shift labs to the right. Might need more mall space. That's a silly thing to point out. That's obvious. Shift second half of mall down. Did that, or redesigned it. Higher rocket goal version 2.0. Repurpose or downgrade initial brick build. Okay, I think that is everything that I can reasonably do right now. Automate bot chest is definitely actually something that needs to be done. So we're going to put that at the top. Because we don't have that at all. So it looks like there's only a couple things missing. Trains, fuel, belt distribution. And this is also belt distribution. So most of the stuff we have is just optional. Things we can do and should do, but nothing strictly necessary. So I'd say we're making good progress. Tomorrow will be space exploration, so I'm hoping we can finish anything new on Tuesday in our base, and then start doing testing on the weekend. But that's it for me today. I will be back tomorrow. Space exploration, where you're almost to a new science, I think. We're starting Vegemite. Yeah, we just started Vegemite. So hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for pointing out mistakes and helping me get the labs realigned. I never would have double checked that, but that genuinely saves like 12 labs. Way more than I expected. Or 12 beacons. So much appreciated. But yeah, have a good one. Peace.